Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subject is financial management. In today's topic is on capital budgeting technique, but specifically we will discuss profitability index. Profitability in today's topic, in today's lecture, we will focus on what is profitability index. What is the definition of profitability index? It is basically all cash flow, present value of all cash flow divided by cash flow divided by present value of cash flow divided by initial cash outflow. We will elaborate this concept with the help of illustration, that the same illustration as it was in earlier lecture. Profitability, we will provide a suggested solution to the example or illustration in this lecture. What is the acceptability criteria of profitability index? Means how we will, when we evaluate the project, how we will accept it, what is the criteria, what will be the yardstick in order to accept any project on the basis of profitability index. Then we will discuss the project in relationship with the other project. Either it is independent or either it is mutually exclusive. For independent, evaluation criteria is something else, while for mutually exclusive projects, there is a different criteria. Then we will discuss all potential problems, but in brief. What are potential problems in mutually exclusive projects? It is brief introduction of these issues that we may encounter or encounter in order to undertake mutually exclusive project. But a detailed lecture will be separately recorded on these potential problems. Moving further, what is profitability index? Profitability index, as I discussed earlier, that it is the ratio of present value of the project future net cash flows to the project initial cash outflow. Means PI, or profitability index, is a ratio between future present value of all cash flow, PV of all cash flow, to the initial cash outflow, ICOs. This ratio is called profitability index, PI. Method 1, how we will calculate this present profitability index. Profitability index is equal to future cash flow, all future cash flow for the first year, cash flow of the second year, and cash flow for the any year. That is all future cash flow of any project. But only cash flow will not work. We will calculate its present value. So how we will calculate the present value? We will discount this first year cash flow will be discounted with the rate of K, that is discount rate for the first year. This second year cash flow will be discounted with discount rate of k raised to the power second year. This is the formula as we discussed in earlier lectures. This is the cash flow for the nth year, future cash flow of this that will be generated by the project as we undertake it, or as we are going to accept it. Then their future cash flow for the n year will be discounted for this for discount rate of k for n years. So all these are future cash flow that will be generated by the suggested or by the proposed project, and we will discount it with the discounted rate. So we will calculate the present value of all these cash flow. So this is the present value of all cash flow. Now we will divide this present value of the cash flow of the project by initial cash outlay. What is this initial cash outlay? Is we have already discussed in earlier lecture that before undertaking any project, a firm will incur some costs. So these costs in the form of cash is called initial cash outlay, because if it is machinery, then the cost of machinery and installation. If it is any other project, then we will call the initial costs that have been incurred before undertaking any project. So profitability index means that present value. This is present value of our future cash flow divided by initial cash outlay is called profitability index. Or there is a second method as well. Then profitability index can also be calculated when we calculate net present value. 1 plus NPV, net present value, divided by cash outlay is also a profitability index formula. What is this NPV? NPV is future cash flow, present value of all future cash flow minus initial cash outlay is called NPV. So this is NPV. So 1 plus NPV divided by ICO is also a second formula we can use in order to calculate the profitability index. But oftenly this formula is used rarely. This formula is often used in calculation of profitability index in academic classes. Moving further, profitability index example. We will elaborate this profitability index with the help of illustration, and this is the same illustration as we used it for present value, net present value, and IRR. This is Jolie Miller is evaluating a new project for her firm. So first of all, still Jolie Miller is in evaluating stage. Basket Wonders, his firm name, her firm name's Basket Wonder. She has determined the after-tax cash flow for the project will be. This is the estimated future cash flow of the project. $10,000 for the first year. This is 0 year. This is first year, so it is 10,000. This is second year, 12,000, 12K. Project 1, 2, 3. 15,000, 15K will be cash flow for the future for third year. For fourth year it is 10,000 again. For fifth year, fourth and fifth, it is 7,000. 7 K for kilo means 1,000. What is initial respectively? 12,000 for second, 15 for third, 10 for fourth, and 7,000 for fifth year respectively for each of the years 1 through 5. The initial cash outlay is 40,000. So here is 40,000 initial cash outlay. We will show it as a negative sign in NPV. So this is basically 0 year. What is profitability index? We will calculate it. How we will calculate it? First we will discount it. This is 0 year, so discounted factor for this one, it will not be discounted for the, this 10,000 will be discounted for the 0 year. This 12,000 will be discounted for the 2 year. 15,000 will be discounted for 3 year. 10,000 will be discounted for 7 years. 4 year, and 7,000 will be discounted for 5 years. But what is our discount rate? It is here. Basket Wonder has determined that the appropriate discount rate for this project should be 13%. So when time value of money is involved, there are three things are necessary. One is cash flow or future cash flow. Second is a number of years, and third is discounted rate. So time and discount rate is mandatory in order to calculate present value or future value. So profitability index is calculated as like this. This is 10,000 for the first year cash flow, 12,000 for the second, 15,000 for the third, 10,000 for the fourth, and 7,000 for the fifth year. But these cash flows are not enough to calculate the ICO. What we will do, we will calculate its present value. How? We will divide all these respective cash flow by discounted factor raised to the power there and their respective years. So what is discount rate? Discount rate is 13%. So 1 plus 0.13 is raised to the power 1 will calculate present value of 10,000 for the 1 year. 12,000 divided by 1.13 raised to the power 2 will calculate the present value of this 12,000 for second year, for 2 years. So 15,000 divided by 1.13 raised to the power 3 will calculate present value of 15,000 for 3 years. This 10,000 divided by 1.13 raised to the power 4, this fourth is basically representing years, so it will give us a present value of 4,000 for 4 years. This is 7,000, 1.13 raised to the power 5, it will give present value of the 7,000 for 4 years. But this is not enough for for calculating profitability index. We will divide all these, the sum of these all cash flow by initial cash outlay. So divided by 40,000. This will give us what? Give us profitability index. In short, 10,000 multiplied by present value interest factor in table we will see below 13% for first year, 12,000 present value interest factor, 13% for second year, 15,000 present value interest factor, 13% for third year. So these values will be extracted from present value table. Present value table is consisted of rows and columns. Rows are represented by percentage while columns are represented by years. So we will check, is already discussed in earlier and very earlier classes of this semester. So table present value table will be used in order to calculate the present value of these cash flows. So when we calculate all these present value of the cash flow, we will get, and then add all these present value, we will get that 38,572 is present value of all these series of cash flows. So this, specifically this, will give us this amount divided by 40,000 initial cash outflow will give us profitability index 0.9643. This is profitability index. Now what this profitability index portray, what it reveals, what it shows us, that what is the meaning of this profitability index. The profitability index shows that for each dollar invested initially, how much for each dollar invested initially, how much you will get for the whole life of the project. So we will get 0.9643. If you convey this profitability index to a common man, that see, if any common man, that see, if you invested $1 right now, you will get 96.43 cents from the whole life of your project that you are going to invest it. He will not invest because he will say that investing $1 will produce less amount of wealth because of this undertaking this project. So what is the criteria then for the acceptability? Now the same question is that profitability index is 0.9643. Should this project be accepted or not? As I told you that we should not accept this project, but the shortcut formula for this, if PI is less than 1, then no, big no. We accept the project on the basis of profitability index. But if PI, profitability index, is greater than 1, then yes, you should accept the project. This is a criteria. If profitability index is PI is less than 1, then no, project should not be accepted. If it is greater than 1, then the project should be accepted. No, this is the answer. The PI is less than 1. Profitability index is less than 1. This means that the project is not profitable. So reject this project as PI is less than 1. This is the criteria for evaluating the project. So this is, you should remember this criteria, that if profitability index is less than 1, then no for this project. If profitability index is greater than 1, yes for the project. What it means is, I told you earlier, if you communicate this 0.9643 profitability index to a common man, that if you invest $1 today in this project, the project will be terminated in 5 years. 5 years. But after all, your $1 will give you $0.96 or 96 cents. Even you will hold this $1 invested till 10 years. He will not invest his wealth in this project because $1 produce less wealth for him in 5 years. He will go for some profitable opportunities. What are strengths and weaknesses of profitability index? Strength. What strength are is already discussed in NPV, that it involves time value of money. Time value of money. It involves time value of money. It consider all cash flow, all cash flows after, means all cash flow till the end of the project. But one extra strength that provided by profitability index is then we can compare different scale of project through profitability index. So profitability index, if we have multiple project A, let's suppose we have 3 project X, Y, Z. So this profitability and they do not have the same lifetime or don't have same cash flows, means these are different by scale, these are different by time life, these are different by cash flow. So we will compare only it with the help of profitability index, and we can even prioritize this project through profitability index. So this is one of the extra strength of the profitability index, that we can compare different scale of project through profitability index. What are the weaknesses? As we discussed, one of the weakness of NPV that it do not consider option embedded in the projects. It do not consider embedded option in the projects. So at this time, but this option in real option or option in the capital assets will be discussed in later chapter, but even not in later chapter, it is the topic of the advanced corporate finance. Provided only relative profitability. Relative profitability means that it provides the profitability with reference to the amount invested in that project. NPV provide a profitability irrespective of the amount invested. But this is relative, means that how much amount is invested and what is the profitability with reference to in relation to this invested amount, like ICOs. Potential ranking problem or exist in profitability index. This is one of the topic that we will discuss in coming lectures. Relationship of the project. Till now we discussed that these projects are independent of one another. We did not discuss we discussed that projects are independent of one another. Independent, what it means, that if A and B are 2 projects, let's suppose, if we select or reject A, it will not influence the selection or rejection of the project of B. Similarly, if we select or reject B, it will not influence the selection or rejection of the B. Similarly, if there is a third project C, selection or rejection of these 2 will not have any influence on the acceptance or rejection of the project C. Similarly, coming in opposite direction, there's a selection of or rejection of C will not influence the acceptance or B or A. So these projects are independent of one another. So dependent projects What are dependent project? Dependent project whose acceptance depends on the acceptance of one or more other projects. Means if you are going to accept one project, then maybe its acceptance is annexed or is tied with the acceptance or rejection of the other projects. So the acceptance of one project when depend on the acceptance of other project is called dependent project. Then what are mutually exclusive project? A project whose acceptance precludes, means stop the acceptance of the one or more alternative project. These are called mutually exclusive project. For example, if A and B are two projects, let's suppose there are two projects A and B. If we accept A, then we will reject the B. If we accept B, then we will reject the A. These are called mutually exclusive. We cannot accept both projects at the same time. We will call it these are mutually exclusive projects. So these mutually exclusive projects have certain issue. Similarly, dependent project are, let's suppose if we want to buy a project which is machinery, but for this machinery there is another small machinery D which will be required. So its acceptance of this D is dependent on project A. So these are dependent projects. Mutually exclusive project is an example would be like this. If you want to repair your own old machines, this is one project, let's suppose. The second project is if we want to totally replace the old machinery. If we undertake the second project, we will not repair the old one. If we repair the old one, we will not accept the second project. These are mutually exclusive projects. So now we will discuss some issues and mutually exclusive project in the coming slides. What are the potential problems in mutually exclusive projects? First of all, ranking of the project may create contradictory results. How we will rank the project proposals? We have, let's suppose on the basis of NPV, we can rank it. On the basis of payback period, we can rank these projects. The shorter payback period project will be accepted first. NPV, higher NPV project will be accepted first. Then IRR, higher IRR projects will be accepted or rank top. Then profitability index, high profitability index project will be ranked top. But these four evaluation technique may provide different ranking. Means maybe payback periods rank some, let's suppose XYZ project on the top. Let's suppose it may be that payback period rank like this. Maybe NPV rank like this, YZX. Maybe IRR provide this Z, X, Y. So these are the ranking that may different ranking criteria ranking list may be provided by these different method of project evaluation technique. So these are basically the problem that we will discuss here. Scale of investment. This is one of the problem in mutually exclusive project ranking. Cash flow pattern. What are the cash flow pattern? That how we will accept or reject one project and accept or reject the another project. Project life. Scale of investment is, let's suppose you invested, this is scale of investment, 100 rupees, and it gave you 200 rupees in first year. It gives almost, the profitability index would be near to 2. Similarly, if the other project is you are going to invest 100,000, not $100, but $100,000, it may give you $125,000 in the first year. Although on the basis of NPV, on the basis of IRR, on the basis of profitability index, this A project is very attractive. But in absolute terms, this project will give you more worth if these are mutually exclusive projects. So which one you would want to initiate? So this gave you more wealth rather than this one. So the scale of investment is one of the problem that we will discuss in detail in a coming lecture. Other is pattern of cash flows. Some project gave you higher cash flow in earlier years, while some project gave you lower cash flow in earlier life. So this pattern of cash flow in future is also one of the potential problem in ranking the mutual exclusive projects. Third is project life. One project may have 4 years life and the other project may have 1 to 2 year life, but their present value IRR are same. So which project would you want to undertake? These issues, that project life, cash flow pattern, and scale of investment will be discussed in detail in a coming lecture. This is all for today's lecture. Thank you.